Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering how to establish yourself as a thought leader. There are steps you can start doing today to become your journey to becoming a thought leader. By the end of this video, you will learn the importance of knowledge in thought leadership, why having a fresh approach helps, and how writing a book can help you achieve your dreams. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free opportunity. Let's dive in. When I was writing for my college newspaper, I went to Penn State for a couple years, our advisor had this equation on the board that he wrote: information equals knowledge equals power. I think about that a lot. Information equals knowledge equals power. Knowledge equals power. What a cool thing. And it's true. The more you know, the more you can apply it, the more powerful your message is. You know, it's awesome to be able to take these ideas and perspectives and bring them all together to build on this knowledge base and to really establish yourself as an expert, as an authority, as a thought leader. You know, in essence, knowledge is a base of experiences, perspectives. It's kind of taking all this information and filtering it through your own eyes and bringing it out in a new way, putting the pieces back together differently, of just viewing this through a new light. I think it's awesome to be able to take all of these ideas and help piece them together where you are becoming the go-to expert on a specific topic. You know, there's so many people who work in your field or in your industry or have different ideas or perspectives, but it's really about digging deep and figuring out what moves you, what inspires you, what you're good at. How do you see things differently than everybody else does? Your perspectives in life are going to shape the way that you view the world, and shape the way that you view the industry that you're in, and shape the way that you view the topics that you care most about. And it's great to be able to run those ideas through the lens that you have, through your vantage point, through your perspectives, to take all of the collective knowledge and to reinterpret it in a new way. This process takes time. This could take years. Becoming a thought leader isn't something that you can just do overnight. It's not just some label that you can slap on. You really need to have some experiences, some perspectives, some hands-on knowledge. You can't just jump in and call yourself a thought leader. You really have to experience something. You might spend years on a job before you can become an expert in a field. Think about a musical instrument. How do you become an expert on a musical instrument? You practice, you practice, you practice. Sports team, practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. And really, in a sense, all of the experiences you have are practice to expertise, to becoming the go-to person. But it takes time. Really requires your perspectives. And it requires you to see things from different viewpoints, not just your own. And that really requires you to connect with others and to talk to them. This could be at conferences, this could be other business people in your office, this could be people at different offices. These are people in your field, in your area, not locationally area, but in your career field. In your focus, whatever you're trying to become an expert on. It could be canoeing, it could be sports, it could be video games. You really need to apply the effort that you're putting into it, into connecting with others, to position yourself in this space as somebody to think about, as somebody that really cares about this, who's dedicated to it, who's committed to it, who's, breathing this day and night, who's, really passionate about it and, trying to drive this forward in a new way. One of the best ways to become a thought leader is to write a book. And it's interesting because you can look at it as a chicken or egg thing. You can think, oh, I want to become a thought leader so I can write a book, or you can think of it in terms of writing a book to become a thought leader. It's one or the other. Who's to say that you are a thought leader? Who's to say that you aren't? If you can write a book on a topic that's well received and well regarded, you're pretty much in as a go-to expert, as a thought leader. That's the ticket in, that's the ticket forward. That's the accelerator, that's the differential factor. If you can do those things, you can have lots of success. You can position yourself as a thought leader. Thought leaders are people who put things out in the world to challenge beliefs, to question them, to stand behind the things that they believe in, to be committed to something. And writing a book is a great endeavor for somebody who is interested in establishing themselves as a thought leader. I work with lots and lots of thought leaders as a ghostwriter. I help them write their books. That's my role as a ghostwriter. I literally help people write their books so they can take the next step in their journey. You know, whether that's personal journey, whether that's career growth, whether that's thought leadership, positioning themselves as the go-to expert. It's not just enough to write a book. It requires you to write a great book, a really, really good book, a book that's going to resonate and impact people. I love being able to, in the books I write with other people, I love being able to give a nod of appreciation to others who have written other books in the space, who've come before, to challenge their viewpoints and perspectives, to appreciate what they've done. You know, because you're really building on what they've done before. You're part of this continuum, but you're really hammering home your thought leadership presence by writing a book. You know, when people think of the go-to person in any space, they're like, oh, who wrote a book on this? You know, I think by not writing a book, there's a lot of thought leaders who are missing out on opportunities to grow their brand further. I know thought leaders who have achieved so much success in their fields, you know, but they don't want to take that next step. You know, they're stuck in this one specific spot, and it's a great spot. But like, what about writing a book? You know, writing a book is such an awesome thing. It's such an awesome undertaking, you know, but it can really hammer home your presence in this continuum, that you are somebody who is here to stay, that you are forever a piece of this story, whatever story you're trying to tell, you know, that you are forever connected to it, and that you had something to say, and that you said it, and you put it out there, and it was awesome. And it was awesome to put it out there. And whenever somebody thinks about it, they think of you. Whenever they think of the topic, they think of you. You're the go-to expert. One of my ghostwriting clients has been very successful in the academic space. You know, she's written lots and lots of thought leadership essays and LinkedIn posts and YouTube videos, and she gives speeches across the world. She's really successful, and she's been doing this for a long time. And she needed help getting to the next level. She's written a couple books that were well received, but academic books. You know, and now we're taking that next step forward and writing like a big book. A big, big book. The book that really positions her. And it's interesting to think about it from that sense. This is somebody who has gone so far in her thought leadership journey and succeeded so much and found so much opportunity through that effort. You know, she works really hard at building and maintaining her presence as a thought leader. And even she recognized this was as far as I could go. And if this is as far as she could go, she went really, really far, and she did awesome. But she can go further. And she recognizes that by writing the right book, you can go to that next level. It's not impossible. You know, you might think it's impossible now because you're right here, but you can actually go to that next level. You can take your message to a wider audience, to a more connected audience, to a one-on-one audience, and reach people in a new way, and connect with them in a new way, and tell your story in a new way. It's such an awesome thing to be able to plant that flag in the ground and let everybody know that you have something to say, and here it is. And now it stands the test of time. If you want to learn more about how to establish yourself as a thought leader, go to my website, goodghostwriter.com. You can click the link below. Schedule a one-on-one strategy call with me, completely free, and we can talk about your thought leader journey, your journey forward, and what a book could do to help you take the next step, to reach the next level. What a book can do for you. It's such an awesome thing, and I'd love to learn more about your story and how a book might help you get to that next level. Remember, good ghostwriting makes great books. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.